The Cavaliers get set to head over to Manchester, face off with the Lancers on their 2010 homecoming game. National Guard helicopters on hand for Manchester's homecoming festivities. Cavaliers coming into this event, 5-0 record, and they'll set to face off with the Lancers, who come in with a pretty good record of their own. Only one loss for the Lancers coming into this event. It's the sixth game of the 2010 Cavalier varsity football season, and the Cavs kick off on the return. It's Deshaun Amos returning at 32 yards back to the Lancers' 36-yard line before he's finally brought down. Then it's Brandon Childs, an 18-yard run, carrying it down inside Cavalier territory, but then there'll be a fumble. Mo Gross forcing the fumble, and Clover Hill comes up with the football, so they'll bring their offense out to attack that Lancer defense, and it's Joe Caleb hitting Craig Sprouse for 5 yards. Then it's Caleb. He'll carry it for 8 yards. But the Clover Hill offensive efforts will come to a halt as Javon Booth sacks Joel Caleb for an 8-yard loss, and that'll force the punt by Cameron McCarthy, which is down at the Lancers' 14-yard line. So the Manchester offense will return to the field once more, and it's Brandon Childs on the carry, but he gets tripped up, then finally taken down by Trevon Rogers. That'll force the Lancers to have to punt. Cavalier defense holds them on the drive, and it's nearly blocked there, but a short punt will set the Cavaliers up with good field position. Joel Caleb on the carry, picking up 9 yards, bounces his way down. Dimitri Evans gets the call. He'll carry it for a few more yards. Coach is watching on, calling in the plays, and they'll give it to Caleb once more. Caleb taking the handoff from Craig Sprouse. He drives up the middle for 6 yards. Then Caleb gets the call again, this time around the side into the end zone. Touchdown, Clover Hill. Cavaliers get on the scoreboard with 2:08 left in the first quarter. Cameron McCarthy's going to come out, puts the extra point through the uprights. A little off to the side, but it still goes through. Extra point good. Cavaliers lead 7-0 with the first quarter clock starting to wind down. Cameron McCarthy's kick, driving it deep downfield, but the Lancers decide to return, and it's Deshaun Amos bringing it back 25 yards before Holland Fisher brings him down. Terrell Hackney gets sacked for a loss of 9 yards, and the Lancers fighting their way downfield, but finding it tough. Peyton Grider on the stop. Then Terrell Hackney's pass completed to Brandon Childs, but no gain as Holland Fisher and Trevon Rogers come in on the stop. Clover Hill offense out to start the second quarter, and it's Dimitri Evans getting the call. He's going to carry it 12 yards down to the Lancers' 38-yard line, picking up the first down for Clover Hill, banging his way downfield. Caleb rushing, but gets taken down for a loss of 4 yards at the Lancers' 36. Javon Booth on the takedown, so that'll force Cameron McCarthy to punt it away, and they try to stop it from going into the end zone, but it rolls in, so the Lancers are going to get the ball at their own 20-yard line. Brandon Childs, no gain on this play as Holland Fisher and Trevon Rogers come in for the stop. Then Willie Pugh on the carry and takes the reverse, but gets fouled by Tim Thaniel trying to cut the corner. Thaniel makes the stop. Clover Hill brings their offensive unit back out on the field, but the pass from Caleb picked off. This time it's Jamal Winston making the interception, and he takes over the ball at the Lancers' 22. Terrell Hackney tries to carry the ball, but Mo Gross says, you're only going to get about a yard on that one. Then Hackney's pass gets intercepted. Peyton Grider making the grab and picking off the ball for Clover Hill. So the Cavaliers defense making the big stop once again, intercepting the pass. And Peyton Grider having a nice night for the Cavaliers as usual. Back on offense, Caleb carries for a 3-yard gain before Zach Buckholz and others bring him down. Then he looks and sees number 1 Holland Fisher crossing over the middle, but Fisher can't hold on to it. They go for the field goal, but it gets tipped, and it's no good. So the Cavaliers still with a 7-0 lead in the second quarter. The Lancers will get a drive going. Terrell Hackney completing to Brandon Childs for a 19-yard gain. Then it's Childs carrying for 6 yards, going around the corner before Tim Thaniel finds him. But the Lancers get a penalty of holding, so that'll force them back, but that's okay. Brandon Childs going to carry for a 13-yard gain late in the second quarter. Time winding down. Fouts trying to get the defense pumped up, and it's not going to work well for him as Hackney looks in the corner and finds J.D. Holmes for a 20-yard completion and a touchdown for the Lancers. So the Lancers on the scoreboard late in the second quarter. They're going to go for the 2-point conversion, but it's picked off by the Cavaliers, so that'll stop their efforts, and Clover Hill hold the Lancers to 6. And that's the way it'll set as the teams head with 44 seconds left in the half. Lancers put the line drive down the field, but it's picked up by Holland Fisher. He brings it back 18 yards before he's finally brought to a stop. Cavaliers going to go for it a couple of times here. Long pass to Craig Sprouse. Caleb finding Sprouse down the sidelines. He gets out of bounds. That leaves them a little bit of time left, but the defense of the Lancers holds strong. They're going to sack Joe Caleb for an 8-yard loss, and that'll send the teams into the halftime break with the Cavaliers leading 7-6 over the Lancers. It's a long halftime break as the Lancers crown their homecoming king and queen during the festivities. And on the sidelines as they return, Keith Davis sending some love out to someone. Don't know who that's for, but I'm sure it's for somebody special out there. Lancers kick off to the Cavaliers to open the second half. Tim Thaniel, 28-yard return, taking it back to the Cavs' 44-yard line before he's finally brought to a stop. Then Caleb finding Wes Austin. Austin, 7-yard gain for the Cavaliers. Caleb again drops back, again finding Wes Austin. This time goes for 21 yards. Austin bringing it in, making a nice catch. Caleb back again. Who does he find? Wes Austin. Austin's bringing that one in and holding on to it for another completion for the Cavaliers and another first down. Then it's Caleb. He drops back, maybe looking for Austin again. I don't know, but the play gets broken up. But somehow Caleb darts left and right. Finally, right up the gut, a 9-yard carry in for a Cavalier touchdown. Cameron McCarthy's extra point goes through the uprights. Clover Hill leads 14-6. Cameron McCarthy set to kick off for Clover Hill. He boots it down to the 10-yard line where it's Deshaun Amos bringing it back 9 yards, but that's as far as he'll go before Kyle Flaherty and others come in for the stop. Brandon Childs, though, carrying it for 14 yards. Derek Wells finally bringing him down on that play. Then Childs, a 2-yard gain. Willie Pugh getting the call for the Lancers, but he's met immediately by Mo Gross and then Brandon Tyson making the takedown. The Twin Towers double teaming on that one. And then it's another loss as Childs loses a yard as Holland Fisher darts in to make the stop. But then Childs breaks one free and he carries it 40 yards, running right out the frame of the camera. They're finally picking him up as he carries it into the end zone for a Lancer touchdown. Brandon Wilson trying to carry in the 2-point conversion, but the Cavalier defense brings a halt to that, so the Cavs still lead 14-12 late in the third quarter. Tim Thaniel with an 11-yard return on the kickoff, and then it's Dimitri Evans busting his way upfield for 23 yards on the carry, a Cavalier first down. Then Caleb goes to the air, but it's picked off. Deshaun Amos making the interception for the Lancers. Two teams struggle on their next possessions as the defenses step up and make the stops. Midway through the fourth quarter, Lancers getting the drive going. Hackney there completing the pass, and it's taken out of bounds. Then Hackney goes back to the air, but Dimitri Evans intercepts the pass for the Cavaliers. He brings it back downfield, but the fumble forced on that return, and Lancers recover, so Lancers hold on and get to keep their drive going. Brandon Childs, 14-yard gain before Joel Caleb makes his stop. Then it's Childs this time. He loses 4 yards. Mo Gross reads the play, busts through the line, and makes the stop. And this drive, important, time winding down. The Lancers watching the clock tick away. Terrell Hackney looks back, hands off to Brandon Childs again, but Childs just can't get anything going. The Cavalier faithful screaming for their defense. The defense pumped up. Everyone on the sideline pumped up. They need to make the stop right here. Fourth down. Hackney's going to get one more shot at it. Time winding down. 1:37 left on the clock. Hackney drops back. He launches one downfield, but it goes out of bounds, and the Cavaliers start to celebrate. This one, a big, big win for them. A Dominion foe, Manchester, taken down in the late stages. The Cavaliers run off the clock, and they'll get the win, go 6-0 as they get ready to head back home to face off with Bird. Clover Hill 14, Manchester 12. Next game at home against Bird. Be there.